Hey y'all, how's it going? Did you guys have a good week? Couple days? I don't even remember when the last time I was on. I've been so fucking busy. But we've got the one and only Uncle Junior on with us tonight.
Hi, everybody.
We love it when Uncle comes on because we always have so much fun. And
Yep.
we can
I
just
always have
laugh at the
fun.
dumbest thing.
Yep.
So, hi, Missy. Hello, Justin. Happy Easter, everyone, for tomorrow. No, I'm a day early. But we decided to have it tonight since tomorrow's Easter and people will be their families and barbecues. And hi, Mandy. And so we decided to have it tonight instead. And tonight is Arkansas. And
Yes,
you know who
indeed.
lives there? He lives there. So, of course, he's going to come on with me. The next state will be California. And Missy is so on it. She's already sent me a list of California hauntings. How you doing, Mandy? So, how's everybody?
Doing good.
Oh,
We're in our season of rain and tornadoes possibles right now. So
oh, Angie, I'm sorry you have a splitting headache. Those suck. Let me tell you something. If you get, I was having really bad headaches, and I finally my doctor gave me sumatriptan. Let me tell you what, all I need is a half of, if you feel a headache coming on, you pop half of a sumatriptan and it will be gone. So I'm just saying, you can mention it and always just keep some around. So if you feel one coming on, you just pop it.
and if you're stubborn like me and don't really like going to doctors and hospitals and taking medicine, I'll get like I keep a bottle of Tiger Balm that you get at Walmart, and I'll put it on my temples, on both sides of temples. You'll feel a little burning sensation after it sets on there, but within a few minutes it starts cooling down and then headache goes away.
No shit. I've never tried that. Tiger Balm.
Tiger Balm, it comes in a little bottle. I would go get it, but it's all the way in my living room. I'm in the back of the house.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, I know what Tiger's Balm is. I've seen it. I think everybody's probably heard of that.
That's kind of what I do. I
Um,
keep one here at the house and one in my bag that I carry to work.
well, I used to get the bad headaches, and when she finally, hi Terry, and when she gave me the sumatriptan the first time I felt a headache coming on, and I took it, I was like, oh my god, it's gone. Like within the hour, it just stops. It doesn't get any stronger and goes away. So I was like, woo, this stuff is great.
So the thing is, I get them more frequent because of my neurofibromatosis. I don't even think I said that right, but it's a deal that's hereditary and it affects nerves and stuff like that. So I get a lot of migraines and stuff like that. That is one thing of it. It causes all the little, I guess you can kind of see that little bump right there, which
Yeah,
is
yeah,
what similar is what I had on the back of my neck that I had removed
right,
because it grew so big and so fast that
right.
it basically was affecting. It was causing pain all the way from my neck into my shoulders.
So are you feeling better now that that's been
Oh yeah,
taken
oh
off?
yeah, I've been
Oh,
able to
good.
sleep.
Okay.
I have not had any pain or
Oh,
any shoulders, anything like that.
thank
And
God.
it came back benign. It was a neurofibroma, which is basically a non-cancerous little fatty tumor that grows on the end
Yeah.
of the nerves. They said, watch it. There's a possibility it could grow back. If not, um, you're good. Where I go back, I think in June, just for a quick checkup, make sure everything looks good. If it does, they'll just have to go a little bit deeper and cut a little bit more,
Oh,
cut more of it out. So,
yeah. Yeah. I See, Angie, the sumatriptan, I get the sinus headaches. That's where my issue, because for a long time I had the chronic sinusitis, and that's what was causing it. Speaking of that, I'm getting to where I can't breathe now. But sumatriptan, I'm telling you, if you go to the doctor and ask them, I will write it. I will even write it so you know how to. Oops, if I could spell.
Hey, Spirit.
There it is.
Oh,
I put
forgot
that in the comments. Hello, Spirit. Oh, what the shit. There it is. Okay. Hi, Spirit Stalker.
I almost forgot I
So
could
tonight
talk.
is Arkansas. Huh?
I said I almost forgot I could talk and I was going to type to Hey Spirit. I forgot I could speak it instead of type it.
I just typed it so she would know how to spell the darn stuff, because you know the medicine is always so terrible. Okay. I am going to start off. Now, I believe in the past, sometime when we were talking about the haunted places, I believe we have talked about this place before. And I'm going to start with the Crescent Hotel. Now, this is considered America's most haunted hotel. It has a super chilling history and has played host to some of the America's top paranormal experts. It was built in 1886 and it sits atop Crescent Mountain. Now, where is that to you? Crescent Mountain?
That's in Eureka, so it's a couple hour drive from me.
Okay. Now, known for the beautiful views, it established itself as a premier destination for the elite and well-to-do. For the next 15 years, the hotel was operated by ESIC. I couldn't find what that meant. In 1902, it was leased to the Frisco Railroad for 5 years. Due to slow business in the winter, Crescent College opened and provided education to females only until 1934. Now, back in 1925, Claude Fuller and Albert Ingalls bought it. In 1937, Norman Baker, a charismatic but fraudulent figure, acquired the hotel and started his venture. Now, this is what we've talked about before. He turned this hotel / railroad / school into the Baker Cancer Center. He presented himself as a visionary healer and claimed to possess the elusive cure for cancer. Y'all remember us talking about this? Where he wasn't a doctor, but he claimed to be this healer and he could cure cancer, and all these people went and paid all this money for these treatments that didn't work, and they all died, but he took all their money. He amassed so much money from their sufferers and continued to claim his ability to heal them. His practices were noticed by the American Medical Association, and he was arrested in 1940 and was imprisoned for fraud. In 1946, it changed ownership again. Herbert A. Shutter, Herbert E. Shutter, John Constantine, and Dwight Nichols took ownership and restored it back to its original glory. In 1967, a devastating fire due to faulty wiring ravaged the entire 4th floor penthouses, leaving Dwight Nichols as the sole owner. So that means the other 3 owners and their families perished in the fire on the 4th floor. So with much needed repairs, he couldn't afford it, and it sold again and was taken over by the Resort Enterprises, Inc. In 1988, it was sold again and turned into the Wichita Federal Savings and Loan. Today, It is a true mountaintop spa resort. Now, during the construction of this hotel, a stonemason plunged to his death in what is now room 218. It's said this is one of the most active rooms in the hotel. The guests and staff refer to this particular ghost as Michael. Guests and paranormal investigators have reported they saw hands coming out of the bathroom mirror. They hear cries of a falling man in the ceiling, the door opening and slamming shut by itself, unable to be opened. In the crystal dining room, there is a playful spirit in a Victorian dress. Things of all kinds are always moved to the other side of the table. Dishes have been turned upside down, chairs pulled out, menus will be scattered all over the room. It's said that at Christmas, the Christmas tree was located in there along with the gifts. They came in the next morning and the tree and all the gifts was on the opposite side of the room, put up over there and decorated completely different. A staff member claimed to see a couple getting married in the mirror, but nobody was there. She said she froze in shock and the male spirit turned to look at her and then they both faded away. She said she ran out and quit her job. One morning, a guest came down for breakfast and told the server he was waiting for a guest. A few moments later, like an hour went by, and he asked the server about a woman in the ballroom in the wee hours of the morning. He told her he had come down and saw her dancing and watched her for the longest time. He said he told her how beautiful she was and told her to meet him for breakfast. He claimed that she laughed and happily agreed. Manager came and told the man that the ballroom had been locked and closed up all night and that he had just unlocked it. They claimed that Dr. Baker is still in the morgue along with his cancer patients that he lost. The morgue still contains his autopsy table and walk-in freezer. Housekeepers see Theodora is her name. She is in room 419. She was a patient of Dr. Baker's and will disappear after courtesies are exchanged. It's said that this hotel has so many ghost stories, you will have to see for yourself. They said there's too many to talk about. Like I could have kept writing and kept writing and kept writing. There was so many. I had to stop, because that was a long one.
Yeah. Yeah, I've heard several of those, and it's like, I figured I'd save that one and let you pick out some. That way you could have fun. All right. We're going to take it to the Cotter Bridge. It is located in Cotter, Arkansas. I don't know exactly how many hours, but it's probably about 3 hours, I think is what I figured out. I'd have to really look at the map and stuff like that. So the Cotter Bridge is an elegant yet eerie structure stretching across the White River in Cotter, Arkansas. It is more than just a picturesque landmark by day. It stands as a testament to early 20th century engineering, its graceful arches reflecting in calm waters below. But at dusk settles the mist rise from the river. The bridge takes an entirely different persona, one steep in whispered tales of relentless spirits and unexplained phenomenons. Locals speak of chilling encounters of ghostly apparition, both thrill seekers and skeptics to seemingly ordinary crossing. The Cotter Bridge was officially known as the R.M. Ruthven Bridge, was completed in 1930 during the time of economic uncertainty and infrastructure and expansion. It was designed as a cantilevered arch bridge with architectural marvel of its era and quickly became a vital link for travelers commenced in northern Arkansas. The bridge not only facilitated transportation but also symbolized resilience, progress of the small town of Cotter. Now, Cotter was founded in 1900s as a railroad town growing around the Wright River. The river provided sustenance and opportunity while the Missouri Pacific Railroad transformed the town into a hub for trade and travel. Okay, so the bridge's history isn't without tragedy. During the Great Depression, the area faced economic hardships during the bridge's construction led to several fatalities incidents that some believe sparked the earliest whispers of hauntings as times passed. The bridge's reputation grew not just as an engineering marvel, but as a place where the past lingers in ghostly form. One of the is there is a woman pursued by hounds. One of the most striking stories associated with Cotter Bridge is the reoccurring vision of a woman being chased by hounds. Witnesses have described seeing a translucent female figure running across the bridge, her face etched with terror. Behind her, shadowy forms of dogs, silent yet unmistakably, give chase only to vanish into thin air before reaching the bridge's end.
Oh, wow.
Some speculate that the woman might be the spirit of someone who met a tragic end near the bridge, though historical records reveal no definitive match. The sightings usually occur on foggy nights when the air grows heavy and visibility fades. Drivers passing
Right.
over the bridge have reported slamming on their brakes, convinced they're about to hit a real person, only to find the road empty upon closer inspection.
No shit.
Children on the tracks below. Another chilling tale involves the sound of children playing on the railroad tracks beneath the bridge. Locals claim that on the quiet nights, a faint laughter of children can be heard echoing from below. More disturbingly, some have reported seeing fleet figures, small silhouettes darting across the tracks, only for them to vanish when approached.
Wow.
Now, the origin of the ghostly children remains unclear. Some believe that they might have spirits of children who have lived nearby Cotter's railroad heydays. Others think the apparitions could be tied to incidents that occurred in the area. Regardless, the cause of the presence of the youthful phantoms adds an eerie layer to the bridge's already haunting atmosphere. Now, here's one for y'all on it. Hearing footsteps and mysterious footprints. Visitors of the Cotter's Bridge frequently
Oh
report
boy.
hearing disembodied footsteps echoing along the walkway, often in the dead of night when the bridge is deserted. The sound, steady, deliberate, follows pedestrians only to stop abruptly when they turn around. Some have even discovered footprints appearing on the bridge's surfaces as though someone were walking alongside them, but no one is there. These footprints are often described as barefoot impressions, slightly damp, as the spirits making them had recently emerged from the river below. Paranormal investigators have visited the site, note that the temperature often drops suddenly when the footsteps are heard, further fueling the belief that the unseen presence linger on the bridge. There's also phantom baby cries. Perhaps the most unsettling of all the bridge ghostly tales is the sound of baby crying, a heart-wrenching wail that seems to come from nowhere. Several visitors have reported hearing the cry while standing on the bridge, only for it to fade as they move closer to the perceived source. Some locals believe that
Mm.
the cry is linked to an old legend of a child lost in the river's swift currents, though no official records confirm such a tragedy. Regardless its origin, the sound has left many unnerved, with some refusing to cross the bridge after dark for fear of hearing the spectral wail. Paranormal enthusiasts who have attempted to record sound often have found their devices malfunctioning near the bridge. Other curious detail that deepens the mysterious surrounding of the Cotter Bridge.
I'd go there.
That would be a place I would go, definitely for sure.
Okay, now Justin says he's been to Cotter Bridge. Now, did you just go over the bridge or did you go there to ghost hunt or did you have any experience there, Justin? And when did you go? We're like all waiting. We're like looking.
Yeah, we're like,
Now, I have heard of a bridge that you can go to. I can't remember where it is. And it might even be covered in our future endeavors here, but you go, you park, you turn the car off, you get out and you put baby powder around the outside of the vehicle and you just sit there. And then if you'll hear things, they said that you'll hear things, your car will like shake and you'll hear stuff. And then when you get out, there's footsteps in the.
can you see it?
Oh, that's pretty though.
That is what the Cotter Bridge looks like. I just pulled it up. So the Cotter Bridge is 2 hours and 1 minute drive from me. And the Crescent Hotel is 1 hour and 2 minutes away from me. So
Well,
it's
that's
actually
not that far.
no. I actually had to go look at that. So
I went with a friend like in 05, but nothing happened. Okay. All right. Like, did you guys get out and walk around though and stuff like that? I'm curious now. That's a pretty bridge, but it looks like it would be a busy bridge. So it's almost like, how do you stop?
well, from my understanding and looking at, give me back. There is a newer bridge that's further down.
Mhm.
That's actually the old historic bridge. So
So which one would it be then?
it would be the historic bridge.
Oh, okay. So the older one then.
Yeah. So the historic bridge is the one that I was talking about, and it's further down. But
Okay.
there's like a walking trail below it now. So
See it. Oh, you did walk around a little bit. Okay. I think it's creepy when you hear the kids laughing or kids playing and there's nobody there because it's almost like that. Oh shit.
yeah.
I'm not the only one that feels that way, right? Because when you hear the kids, you're like, oh no. Like all the hairs on your body will stand up and you're like, oh shit, what am I in for now? Not like it's a bad thing, but you know it's a child spirit. And of course, that's just a very sad thing. Okay, so I'm going to move on with Resort Hotel and Spa. This is in Hot Springs. So, where's Hot Springs to you?
Hot Springs, I believe that's actually where Dixie and Harley both have come from. Come from down
No
there.
shit.
Yep. And
Cool.
it's 3 hours. 3 hours. I remember that 3 hour drive to go pick up those girls.
Okay. Well, this was built in 1875. It's been associated with paranormal activity for a long, long time. Guests have claimed to have encounters with ghostly figures and strange happenings, particularly in room 824. Other guests who have stayed in room 443, which was Al Capone's former room, they have experienced strange things. Uh, Staff has been required to deny any paranormal activity over fear it would cause a decline in business. People have and still report flickering lights, unexplained footsteps, and even sightings of a woman in white. There's a man that takes a bath in the men's bathhouse that has been closed for a long time. Now, room 723. You will see footprints in the carpet as if someone just walked on it. Room 824. The bathroom sink turns on by itself and steams up the room. Once the room's steamed up, it shuts off by itself. Items fall off the shelves and the lights turn on between 3 and 4 a.m. by themselves. Room 443, the Capone suite. You will smell his cigar smoke. The doorknob will turn and shake from the connecting room, and there's no doorknob on that side of the door. The seventh floor, the flickering lights in Magnolia Room and Venetian Dining Room. Electricians have also been called out to check the wires, and they said there's nothing wrong. The bathhouse. A man resembling a soldier has been seen taking a bath. It is a closed building. And that's all I've got for that one. That just tells you what the events are in each room.
That's interesting.
So I guess Al Capone comes to visit. Or shit, maybe it was haunted before even he was there.
Who knows?
Yeah, yep, yeah.
Right, all right. So the next one is the old Fort Smith Historic Courthouse. That's Fort Smith, Arkansas. It's a little over an hour drive.
I
So
have one in Fort Smith as well.
yes. So
That sounds like it's a haunted town.
yeah. So if most of y'all may know this about Fort Smith and this courthouse, but it was known for Judge Parker, who was known as the hanging judge.
Oh gosh.
So the old Fort Smith Courthouse stands as a stoic reminder of frontier justice, its weathered stone walls holding more than just echoes of history, located in Fort Smith, Arkansas. The courthouse once symbolized law and order, but as the years passed and the stories accumulated, the building gained another reputation, one steeped in not only justice, but the unexplained.
Uh-huh.
Visitors and staff alike have whispered, not widespread, but have whispered about Erie's encounter, ghostly voices, phantom footsteps, and chilling clang of a judge's gavel striking when no court is in session.
Oh geez.
So they rebuilt the a new courthouse, but this is the historic one that's still standing, and you can go do visits.
Oh shit.
Foundations of justice and judgment. Built in the 19th century, the Fort Smith Courthouse served as an epicenter of federal justice for the Western District of Arkansas. It has that Judge Isaac C. Parker, famously known as the Hanging Judge, presided over cases involving outlaw figures and lawbreakers from the Indian Territory. His courtroom became the final stop for many condemned men, with Parker's strict rulings leading to 79 executions during his tenure.
Wow.
The courthouse was more than
All
just
hanging.
all hanging.
Oh my gosh.
That's why he was known as the hanging judge. The courthouse was more than just a judicial hub. It was a complex of justice. The building housed courtrooms, holding cells, and gallows. Yes, the gallows they have a replica of the gallows there.
Right.
Still, where many met their end under Parker's watchful eyes, the gallows reconstructed to reflect their historical design remain a stark reminder of swift justice that characterized the era. While Parker himself was known for his stern demeanor, he was also a man deeply conflicted about the death sentences he delivered. Reports suggest that he viewed the gallows as a necessary evil, a deterrent in lawless land, but such heavy burden judgment leaves an imprint on some that believe the courthouse absorbed the sorrows, angers of those who faced the hangman's noose. So after Parker's death in 1896, the courthouse continued to function but gradually lost its central role as Fort
Ooh.
Smith modernized. It's eventually preserved as part of the Fort Smith National Historic Site, dedicated to educating visitors about the frontier justice. Yet some history presents itself, or hold up, let me read it. For yet some history alone does not explain the lingering presence felt within its walls. For an example, the ghostly gavel of Judge Parker. One of the most chilling encounters reported at the courthouse involves the unmistakable sound of the gavel as though Judge Parker himself continues to preside from beyond the grave. A former museum employee recounted an evening when she was closing the building. As she switched off the lights in the courtroom, an unsettling noise filled the air. It began with muffled voices rising in intensity as the court
Oh
proceedings
boy.
were underway. Amidst the commotion came the sharp crack of the gavel, followed by an eerie mist seeping through the room. An employee stood frozen for as the spectral scene unfolded. Partially apparition of a man in dusty clothing, flanked by two figures with badges, emerged from the fog. The man appeared to be disheaved and resigned, as though he had accepted his fate. The gallows sway without wind. Outside the courthouse stands the reconstructed gallows, an ominous structure that once saw the end of many lives. Though the ropes themselves are now mere replicas, they seem to possess a life of their own. Visitors frequently reported seeing ropes swaying gently even on still days without the faintest breeze. Some skeptics attribute the movement of natural factors. So, the spirits of the condemned. The courthouse haunted's reputation extends beyond Judge Parker's courtroom and the gallows. Paranormal investigators and visitors have reported feeling sudden chills, hearing disembodied whispers, and experience overwhelming sense of dread in certain areas of the building. Hey, Emily. Many attributes of the Many attributes these sensations to the spirits of the condemned, those who felt
Sorry, I'm stuffy. I had to.
unjustly sentenced, or those final moments were marked by fear, distress, desperation. The holding cells beneath the courthouse, where the prisoners awaited their fate, and particularly notorious for unexplained activities, visitors have described hearing faint pleas and footsteps echoing down empty corridors. Even the Fort Smith Museum of History, which houses some of the original furniture from Parker's courtroom, has not escaped the supernatural. Investigators have captured audio recordings resembling three distinct gavel strikes, an eerie reminder of the finality and delivered within those walls. The old Fort Smith courthouse today stands as part of the Fort Smith National Historic Site, drawing history buffs and paranormal enthusiasts alike. Guided tours recount the building's rich history, while ghost tours delve the eerie encounters and continue capturing visitors. Though the courthouse is no longer serves as a seat of justice, it will remain alive with stories. But the historical and supernatural, whether one visits to learn about the frontier law or to see a brush with the unexplained, the courthouse leaves an undeniable impression. It stands as a testament to the lives it touched and perhaps to the spirits that it still walks its halls.
Whew. You got to think back at the shit that took place there.
Yeah.
And can you imagine, like, how creepy is a gavel hitting the fucking desk? If you're in there by yourself, like, you know what I mean? And you hear that shit, bam, bam, bam. I'd probably dookie. Get me the diaper. Now, is Emily your friend?
Yes.
So, hello,
She's
Emily.
From, she
Welcome
is from
to
Arkansas
Shit
as
Show.
well.
And she says the Arlington Hotel and the Fordyce Bathhouse are the places in Hot Springs. Both were owned by Samuel Fordyce, who ran a gambling club inside. Okay. I don't have that, either one of those. I have the
Really?
Allen house. What'd the dog do?
Yeah. One of them did.
Did he fart?
Yes, one of my dogs ripped one off.
Good for her. All right. I've got the Allen house in Monticello. Where's Monticello from you? I have been to Monticello, Florida, and me and Annie went there, and in Monticello, I'm trying to think of the name of the damn place, but we went to that haunted bed and breakfast.
It is 4 hours.
Oh, it's far from you. Yeah.
Yeah, it's way down there.
Well, this says it's located in the lower delta of Arkansas.
Yep.
They say it's a beautiful home with a creepy past and a haunted present. Many say this is the most haunted house in America, but they all say that. Everyone thinks theirs is the most haunted. This story centers around the Allen family, especially their daughter, Liddell. On Christmas in 1948, Liddell drank cyanide to commit suicide. It took longer than she thought. She was in pain and very sick, but she did finally die 8 days later. The room she died in was sealed off by her mother and was never opened again for nearly 4 decades. When it was finally opened, the new owners found the cyanide bottle in on a shelf in the closet. It was a tongue twister for me. The new owners, Mark and Rebecca Spencer, found 90 handwritten letters pertaining to a secret relationship that led Liddell to drink poison along with a bottle of rum. Another place in Eureka Springs is a Basin Park Hotel. Illegal gambling was done in a hidden room in the tunnels that was built in the mountains that backs up to the hotel. Oh my gosh. See, I didn't have that one either. I don't have that one either. Anyway, after all that, the Allen house was divided into apartments. That's when the paranormal activity began. Tenants all claimed to see a woman standing in the doorway of what would have been Liddell's closed off room. That's all I found. I didn't find what she did. They only see her standing in the doorway of that room.
Yeah, uh, and that's what I was dealing with. A lot of it, just like there was just that's one thing, one story, or it doesn't really give you a lot of history on it.
Yeah, yeah. Doesn't give me it. It didn't give me much. That's all I've got on it. But I thought the story was interesting.
Alrighty, this one is actually probably this is actually the closest one to me. Let me actually.
The whole town was connected by these underground tunnels and would be used for rum runners and criminals like Bonnie. Ooh, okay. Shit. That's cool. Now, where was it that I read somewhere? I might have even have it under here that there's underground tunnels. Anyway, one of them had underground tunnels or something that I read somewhere. But I go state to state. I'm doing every state, so it might not have been this one. I have that CRS disease, you know.
So this one right here is less than it's like a 25-minute drive from my house.
Ooh, I'd be there all the time. Okay.
This one is known as the Tilly Willie Bridge. Now, this one is in Fayetteville, Arkansas. It is hidden among the back roads. So, unless you really know your back roads and all that, yeah, you wouldn't know about this. This place captured imaginations and fears for locals for decades. The original Tilly Willie Bridge was a little one-lane low water bridge, little concrete low water bridge. Um, it's one of the most notorious haunted sites in Northwest Arkansas. Stories of phantoms, cars, ghostly handprints, and eerie apparitions swirl around the bridge, like most arising from the water, a mist rising from the water below. Though the original bridge was demolished in 2010, its reputation for paranormal activity lingers, transferring the seamlessly to the new structure that stands in its place. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, and chilling tales that surround the Tilly Willie Bridge are enough to make anyone hesitate before crossing it at dark.
Mm.
Long before Tilly Willie became synonymous with ghost stories, Tilly Willie was simply a functional crossing over a small creek, like I said. Wilson
Mhm.
Hollow Road, connecting Fayetteville's quieter outskirts. The bridge itself was nothing remarkable. It was just a narrow, rickety structure typical of rural Arkansas roads. For decades, it served as a passing for farmers, locals, and occasional adventurous traveler exploring the countryside. The name Tilly Willie itself is uncertain. Its origin. Some locals claim it was the old nickname for the area, while others suggest it diverged from an early settler's family, which its source, the name took of life of its own. Tales surrounding the bridge grew darker. The Phantom Car, perhaps the most well known tale associated with Tilly Willie Bridge, is that a tragic accident in 1970. According to local legend, a woman lost control of her car while crossing the bridge late night. The vehicle plunged into the creek below, claiming the lives of both the woman and her children.
Oh shit.
Since then, countless witnesses have reported a spectral car on the bridge, drivers traveling on the road at night often describe headlights that appearing in the rearview mirror only for them to vanish suddenly without a trace. Some have even claimed
Yes.
to have seen full apparition of an old car quietly idling on the bridge before fading into the darkness. But the most chilling aspect of the story is the apparition of the woman herself dressed in white. She is often seen standing near the bridge or even dancing slowly in the adjacent field. Some have claimed she is the appears to be searching for something or someone. The sighting often accompanied by overwhelming feeling of sadness as though the air itself is heavy with loss. And ghostly
Yeah.
handprints, one of the most interactive legends surrounding Chilly Willy Bridge, involved childlike handprint mysteriously appearing on vehicles. According to local lore, if you stop your car on the bridge, turn off the engine, and sit quietly, tiny handprints will begin to appear on the windows and exterior of the car. Many believe the handprints belong to the children who perished in the tragic accident decades ago. Visitors have tried to debunk the phenomenon by cleaning their cars thoroughly before visiting, only to find handprints appear regardless. The feeling of small, invisible hands pressing against the glass while you sit in the dark is enough to send even the bravest ghost hunters away speeding. Now, the green goblin creature, while ghostly
Oh God.
apparitions and handprints are common themes haunted folklore, Tilly Willy Bridge, also known more peculiar legend, a sighting of a green goblin-like creature near the bridge. The entity, described as a small, hunched, and glowing faintly green, has been spotted darting across the road and peering out from the underbrush. Those who have claimed to seen the creature report an unsettling feeling of being watched, unlike the other hauntings, which carry an air of sorrow. A presence of goblin like figures seem more mischievous and malevolent. Some believe that it could be tied to folklore predating the bridge itself, while others dismiss it as an overactive imagination fueled by the bridge's already spooky reputation. In 2010, the
Tied to
original
what?
already spooky reputation. In 2010, the original Tilly Willy Bridge was deemed deemed unsafe for continued use. A new bridge was constructed in 2012, wider and sturdier, designed to meet modern safety standards. Yet, despite the physical change of hauntings have not yet subsided, visitors still report phantom headlights, ghostly handprints, and sightings of a woman in white. It seems whatever spirits lingered at the original site simply transferred their presence at the new structure. Paranormal investigators and thrill seekers continue to visit, hoping to catch a glimpse of the unexplained. And there is a story behind Tilly Willy. When I worked in the dealership industry, I took a car that was a manual transmission, took some friends out there late at night, and when the original bridge was there,
Oh jeez.
I stalled the car on the bridge and failed to manage to press in the clutch and messed with them and acted like the car would not start again. I played a big
Oh
old prank
shit.
on them. And eventually I started back up the car. Yeah. They don't talk to me very much anymore.
I'm so terrible at pranks. I always laugh and give myself away. I'm terrible at pranks. Now, I know it probably never has said this, but does it say that the handprints are on the inside or the outside of the windows? Because
Let me
I've
look at
listened
my
to
notes.
you and I didn't hear you say anything about the inside or the outside of the windows. They're saying it's probably the kids that perished. But I'm thinking, okay, so if they're outside, they're
Well, it said
looking
what
in, and if they're
from what I wrote down, it says if you sit quietly, tiny handprints will begin to appear on the windows and exterior of the car. So I'm assuming it
okay,
would be
okay,
on the exterior of the windows.
okay. I got it. I didn't hear that. I didn't hear that part. That's crazy. Wow.
Okay, that's all I have that I came up with that I would did on research that I could find. So
I have a few more, but I don't have a lot of info on them, so they're kind of short. But I do have the Peel Mansion, and this is in Bentonville.
about and from my house is about an hour drive. It's not that far.
Okay, well, it says this English family moved into the Peel Mansion in the 1920s. Mr. W.L. English was an agricultural agent for the Frisco Railroad. He bought the house and 180 acres where he planned to have an apple orchard. He was also the man who put stucco on the outside of the mansion. There were 2 girls and 2 boys in the family. The 2 girls, Marjorie and Elizabeth, were twins, and they had the run of the farm. One day, Marjorie had a horrible pain in her side. The doc responded and said that her appendix had swollen and ruptured. So the doc called for a surgeon to arrive immediately. 2 kitchen tables were brought to an upstairs bedroom and scrubbed down, and sawdust was put on the floor. I'm not sure what the sawdust does, but it never explains it. So the surgeon opened her up, and the infection was so bad, his nurse fainted. The surgeon did what he could, but said that he didn't think she was going to make it. He didn't even finish sewing her all the way up. His nurse was left behind to care for her. For the next 10 days, she laid there alive. One night, Marjorie woke up and saw her dad crying next to her bed. And she asked him, "Why are you crying?" And he said, "Because you are so sick." She looked at him and said, quote, "Don't worry, I feel so wonderful," unquote. And then she died. The nurse came in, called her time of death, and the nurse covered her with a sheet. Now, Marjorie laid under the sheet for 5 hours, and all of a sudden the sheet moved. She was alive. The nurse went ahead, continued caring for her. It took about a year for her to recover, but she did. Marjorie never spoke of her experience with anyone. It is said that you can hear a little girl crying in that room. The chairs from the kitchen get moved up there, and people have found sawdust on the floor. What is this? That's all I have on that one. But what is the sawdust for? Would be to absorb. Oh. Okay.
So
Got it.
I actually
That
found
makes a little bit of sense.
I found a picture of the original Tilly Willy Bridge.
Oh.
Tried. That was the original.
Ooh, it is creepy looking.
That was the original Tilly Willy Bridge.
I wouldn't want to drive over that.
I did several times. I love driving across it.
To me, it looks like one of those floating bridges that you drive over if you're floating through the water. That's what it reminds me of. But I wouldn't want to. I don't like bridges anyway. Anyway, that's all I have on that one. So apparently, I did find somewhere. I didn't write it down, but somewhere the new owners. Um, she ended up getting married and she wanted to bring the husband back to the house, and it was under new ownership, but she wanted to see the house, and they allowed her to go in to see, and she explained to them that I used to live in this house, and so they let her come in and they wouldn't open that door, and she's like, how come we can't look in there? And they said, this room is haunted by a little girl. The Peels had, oh, you know about the Peels? Well, that's all they had when they lived there, I guess, at that time. Um, I couldn't find any more about it, but
Yeah.
that's anyway. The people told her, no, we don't open this door. This room is haunted by a little girl who passed away in this room. And she apparently tried to explain to them, I'm the little girl that was passed away in this room, but I'm here. I lived, I survived. And they wouldn't believe her. 9 kids. Good Lord. So what were these twin girls then? Were they like 1 or 2 or 3 or 4? Because apparently when they first bought this house, there was only 4 kids. So they might have had more since then, but yeah, I didn't see any more after that. All I read was where she went back and they said that this room was, and they didn't believe her. They have 4 rooms upstairs, the boys, the parents, and the girls, and a maid room. Okay. I'm glad you found it because I couldn't find any of that.
So one that I was gonna do, I can bring up one that I
Yeah.
was gonna do, but I could not find anything else. And this is actually in the University of Arkansas in Fayetteville.
Oh.
And it's the Inn at Carnal Hall. This is the one I was talking about earlier. Pull back up that
Mm-hmm.
website. It said dating back to 1905, the building was once the woman's dorm and now houses a 50-room hotel and restaurant. Witnesses have reported seeing a floating apparition of a woman in a gown without a head or feet, and indentations on the bed as someone were sitting on it. Other strange
Mm-hmm. I've
phenomena
seen one of
include
those.
photos that show reflection of ghosts in furniture and lights that turn on by themselves. Now, I went through and tried to see if I could find anything else, any more history on that, and I couldn't. That's the only thing that I saw.
Yeah. There's just some places that don't give much information. Let's see. Science No television back then, they had nothing else to do or needed to keep warm. And you've been on the ghost tour 3 times, Emily? Dang, good for you. See, I in at Carnell Hall is creepy. Oh. Now, I don't care for ghost tours. I prefer to go off on my own outside of a tour, because on a tour you got to stay with your group and you got to stay with the person that's leading the group, and they don't allow you to go off by yourself. And I'd rather go get permission and go in overnight and take
Yeah.
my own equipment and ghost hunt. That's the point. The ghost tours are just, they're quick.
And
They
you
host
and
school.
the
So
other
you've
one
been
that,
in the Peel Mansion?
like I was saying, you and Patty from G Team are about the only ones I'd really trust to go actual on a hunt with or sit with, because I've seen y'all's work and I've been around y'all long enough that I know it's not staged like you see in some of other stuff.
But normally when you stage, it is so obvious when you stage.
Yeah.
It really is. I mean, if I go somewhere and nothing happens, then I'm gonna say, hey, I went there and nothing happened. But I could go there a second time and all kinds of shit happened. So you never know. That's why we like to go back to a place several times.
Yeah, and I get that, because it's not always active, because you don't know.
Right. Say sometimes you get bite after bite. Sometimes you don't get shit, but it's fun doing it.
Yeah.
God, I hear the damn neighbor's dogs. Okay, the next one I have is Raider Road, and this is in Rogers, Arizona, Arkansas.
Yeah, that's about the same amount of
Arizona
drive. Rogers and Bentonville are like, they're like this. It's basically one metropolitan area.
Well, this road has its own headless horseman legend. On the edge of Rogers is a vacant street, eerily named Raider Road. It said a phantom horse and its headless master ride this road. If you stop and park on the road with your windows down, you will hear the clomping of the horse's hooves running at fast speeds while the headless master is riding it. That's all I got on it. I couldn't find anyone who did it. Their experiences, did what they saw, what they heard. I couldn't find any of that. You can also go during the day. They host tours and show you through the house. Hell yeah, I'd go to that house. Was it a pretty house? Like mansion type thing? I fucking love going to those old houses that still have the original hardwood floors. You know, that clunk of your feet on that original hardwood floor. I love that. Okay, the next one, yeah, the Raider Road. Okay. I have MacArthur Museum in Little Rock.
Little Rock. I think it's a couple.
I only have 3 more. They're very short.
Give me one thing.
MacArthur Museum dates back to 1840s. The land surrounding this museum has been tread by thousands of feet over the course of its lifespan. Wars, major historical events, and the residual energy within artifacts have seeped into the grains of the floorboards. Staff reports hearing heavy footsteps on the stairs when the building is completely empty. Handprints appear on the windows that are too high for a living person to reach. The feeling of never being alone and the constant presence of Sarge. The spirit, Sarge, lives in the tower of the museum where he keeps watch over the building and the grounds. If you ask Sarge, he will tell you that he is the one in charge. His strong voice has been caught on recordings by paranormal investigators. He will answer your questions, but once he's tired of you, he will tell you to get out. Now, I remember one night there was a group of us went to an old cemetery. It was an old cemetery, like all soldiers in there from World War I and World War II, like really old cemetery. And I don't know if I was going live back then yet, but I had just met Patty. We went there. I saw a huge black mist in front of my vehicle. There was a blue spirit hovering over Annie. This spirit was answering our questions on the voice box, and all of a sudden they turned like, get out, go, get out. So we got the fuck out. And all of a sudden, this spirit started laughing when I hit the gas. So that's what that kind of reminded me of. It'll answer your questions until it's tired of you, and then he's going to tell you to go.
So Little Rock is almost like 3 hours. It's like 2 hours and 40 minutes. So
yeah,
it's almost a 3 hour
still
drive
worth it though.
Yeah,
not too bad. Ooh, excuse me. I've got two more. I've got the Empress of Little Rock bed and breakfast. It's also known as the Hornibrook Mansion. Hornibrok. Hornibrook Mansion. It stands as one of Arkansas's most haunted residences. This Victorian-style structure has been a woman's college, a boarding house, a nursing home, apartments, and now it's a bed and breakfast. Through the years, many spirits have been named as permanent residents here. The former owner, the namesake Hornibrook, still hangs around. He died at age 49 while playing a game of cards with his friends. He had always had a feeling he would die prematurely, so he had a death mask made for himself, and it still hangs in there to this day. The current owner believes that the spirit of Hornibrook influenced him to renovate the bed and breakfast back to its original elegance. There are other ghosts spotted. One is a former maid who goes into the rooms and she will just disappear into the closets. Another spirit is of a man wearing a captain's uniform and is often seen in the hallways pacing. You can hear his footsteps. He will often show up in photos and videos. He's friendly, seems to want to just hang out with the guests. That's all I've got on that one. And I have one more. This one is the one on Fort Smith. I told you I had one in Fort Smith. This is called the Clayton House. This was built in 1882. William H. Clayton and his wife once resided in this locally infamous house many moons ago. They all passed away in this house and are still there, apparently. Staff of the house avoid a room on the second floor due to loud yelling, angry stomping, and doors slamming. In the study, a woman in brown with gray hair has been seen by multiple family members and staff. She appears in photos, and investigators have captured the sound of a man yelling aggressively on their voice box. That's all I got.
There's a lot that
I would go to any one of these places.
Yeah, because it's like that way we could get more information, experience of it, and try to get a more accurate history of it, try to get answers,
Yeah. Now, which one sits in a Walmart parking lot, Emily? It sits in a Walmart parking lot, and in front of it is the current Walmart headquarters. So which one are you talking about? Because I've covered several quick ones.
It might have been that Bentonville one, the one that you covered in Bentonville.
Bentonville.
The Pill Mansion.
Oh, yes. Okay, got it. Walmart parking lot. Dang.
So, If you do not know, Walmart is from Bentonville, Arkansas. Their
Oh, I didn't know that.
their original home office, they have complete the original home office. They completely uh, demolished all the original buildings, and they have turned this like it almost looks like a whole nother little city. Um,
Oh,
let me see.
the the Waltons. It's current owners are the Waltons. Now, do the current owners, Emily, do the current owners say that that room is haunted by the little girl still, uh or do they feel that it's haunted still? Like I don't since it's on the tours, I mean, I'm assuming that Sam Walton. Okay. Thank you.
Give me.
I'm gonna have to break out my we're gonna have to run a voice box again one night, and I'm gonna break out my no mention. Okay. John Boyd. I know that. My house is like John Boyd every night because I go out and I say goodnight to every one of my pigs. You think I'm kidding too? I go right a good night, Choopy. Good night, Maple. Good night, Screech. Good night, Ivy and Holly. Good night, Elvis and Lolly. Every night, I stick my head out the door and say goodnight to all of them. I can't be the only one. Oh, so here's what I'm curious about. What happened to the twin? It just talked about the Marjorie, right? Marjorie and Elizabeth. So
So,
Marjorie is the famous one then that died and came back to life or whatever.
so that whole area right there, you can't really see it. I'm
I
trying to get
just
a
see a glare. Hold on.
so all of this from right in here up is like
Uh-huh.
all of Walmart's home office stuff. That's still with it
Okay.
being
Oh
under
shit.
construction.
Okay.
And like it's like yeah, it's insane what they've done.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Peel graves are visible there. So was that the old okay, I got it. So the graves. So okay. The Peel Mansion. Is that the property of it?
That shows the Peel Museum and Botanical Gardens.
Oh, okay.
She might be able
That's
to
the
answer that
180 acres that he bought.
because that is literally in front of a Walmart.
Right. So the house was there, and then Walmart come and built around them on the property they wouldn't sell. Right? They were probably trying to buy the property, and they said "fuck you," and then they built around it. And then, oh God, are the graves like close by there? Like, I hope they don't build on them. Good Lord, there's been so many places where,
So
like, the
I
Indian burial
know, like,
grounds
if
that people.
looking at the maps, if you go, there is a actual Bentonville cemetery kind of across that,
Yeah.
and there's another like Walmart Culinary and Innovation Center, and it actually has the grave of Sam Walton himself actually pinned on location. So I'm gonna try to do this best I can.
Okay.
So there is the Peel or the Pill Museum
Right. I
right
see it.
there, and then go across here, and there's the
Right.
cemetery, but this is owned by Walmart too.
Okay.
And like, I'm trying to do this for, oh, wrong way,
I got you.
backward. There, somewhere like right around in there is Sam Walton's bill. Try and do that backwards on a
Okay.
computer because I'm using my
Now,
tablet and everything. She said, "Yep, that's the one."
okay.
So yeah, that would
Okay.
be
So,
it.
but nobody currently lives in the house. This Sam Walton owns it, but he doesn't live in it, correct? Because who the fuck would want to live in the parking lot of a Walmart? But
Well,
they turn the house is now a museum.
from what I'm looking at, it says Pill Museum and Botanical Garden. So I believe it is a museum now.
Okay. But okay. But from what I read, it was the twin girl Marjorie. It was Marjorie and Elizabeth are the twin girls, unless they had more twins later. It was Marjorie, the girl twin, that died and then came back to life. It didn't say what year she was born or anything. It didn't say anything about who was born and how old they were when they moved in and all that. I couldn't find any of that. All it said was the girls, there were 2 girls and 2 boys, and the girls were twins, and it was Elizabeth and Marjorie, and they had the run of the farm. And that's when Marjorie had come down. She had a pain in her side. The doctor called in that surgeon. Her thing burst. So that's all I found. But I was told that the Elizabeth and Marjorie were the twin. Well, I have no idea then. That I just wrote down what I found on what I found. So I have no idea. I just write what I read. And okay. It just said Elizabeth and Marjorie. So
Yeah, and see, it's like I said, there's like when you try to get in there, you get so much different information and or no information at all, and so it's really
right.
hard to unless you
Like I
really
like
start
to
going
look at
down.
history. So, and this
Yeah,
year, this man bought the house. He had a wife and 4 kids, and the kids were 8, and the kids were 9 and 4. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I don't know. I like info, and when I can't find much info, it irks me.
I know
Makes
that's
me
what
want to
I
go
that's what I was getting irritated about. I was sitting there going, why? You know, they have this, but I'd like to get into the history, get into finding more information on it. And it's just like,
I kind of like the history of it because it's usually the prior owners or original owners that love the house and died in the house or something, and they don't
yeah.
want to leave the house. And that's why I like doing that.
And
So,
it
anyway,
helps out to understand more of the story and to get there and understand it.
yes.
Then you're not just walking into
Yeah.
something blank
Yeah.
going. And
Yeah.
that's why I
Well,
kind of
I'm
pulled.
nosy anyway. So,
And that's why I kind of went in and pulled some of the history. That way I could have those facts with it of like the Cotter Bridge, when it
yeah.
was built, the time frame.
Yeah, the
But
most
no,
one I had the info on was the Crescent.
yeah,
Crescent Hotel.
because Crescent is really well known in the area.
That's why, yeah, that was like my first one. That because that's why my longest one, because I'm like, apparently we've heard of this one before. But there's more than one Crescent Hotel. Well, I wrote what I read, and that's what I thought Marjorie was the one that they did the surgery on, that that died in the room and wasn't dead.
So
Whoever Marjorie and Elizabeth were apparently some twins. Anyway, I guess that's what I.
those are the gallows from the Fort Smith courthouse.
Oh, okay. I was like, what are we looking at? Okay.
I was trying to
Now,
find some
when I
stuff.
went,
Go ahead.
when we went to the Jasper jail that's right near me, we've been there several times. That's where the warden, the warden loved Patty there. If y'all remember, we would go live there during those hunts, and the gallows is like built in, and there was a window, and people would gather outside to watch the hanging, and that was the creepiest feeling in that place when you go up them stairs and there's the gallows at the top of the fucking. It's a weird feeling. So that seems to be true. So I was just reading of the things that occurred in the house. So maybe it wasn't chronological. And I think, no, I didn't get locked in. That is the first time I ever had the visuals of my channeling. That's the first time I ever channeled at that place. Marjorie and Elizabeth were the daughters of W.L. English, who bought the house. Didn't I say, hold on, didn't I say that name? I said that name, W.L. English. Mr. English was an agricultural agent for the he bought the house and 180 acres where he planned to have an apple orchard. He was also the man who put stucco on the outside of the house. Right. It says an English family moved into the Peel Mansion in the 1920s. Mr. English was an agricultural agent. There were 2 girls and 2 boys in the family. The girls, Elizabeth and Marjorie, were twins. Okay. Because he covered the house with stucco, which is how it is still standing to this day. Okay. So that was my whole thing. The English, when it was the English, I don't know anything about the Peels, apparently. I just know it's called the Peel Mansion. So all I got was in that whole thing was the English family. So I don't know anything about the Peel family. Why wouldn't it tell me about the Peel family? It just automatically went into the English family. Damn. So now I'm catching on. So yeah, it was after the Peels lived there. I'm talking about the English families. Who's famous? Which one's famous? Mr. Peel or Mr. English? I'm so confused. Oh, I know nothing. I couldn't find anything about the Peels. It automatically started at the English family. So I have no clue. So now I want to go find out about the Peels. Damn it. Oh my Lord.
I don't know if y'all can hear the frogs or not, but they're very active outside.
Here too, the frogs. This is the first time the dogs aren't damn barking next door.
Now they're like super loud out here, especially after all that rain today.
What is today? Saturday. That's
Saturday.
right. So to update you guys, I am to be at Chief's office first thing Monday morning for fingerprints and drug test.
Awesome.
That didn't take long at all. I was very surprised because normally it takes like 3 to 4 months.
I figured
was
it'd
like
be
a week.
real quick for you, especially being that you already were in that profession, so for a while.
Well, they were super nice when I really haven't been on, have I? So yeah, I had the interview and they were super nice and they knew some of the same people that I worked with. And they pretty much put it out there that they would like to have me. And I pretty much told him I'd like to come there. So it wasn't even a week. And he was like, "Can you be at the office on Monday morning?" Sure.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Yep. With bells on. So yeah, I'm gonna do that. Barn is coming along good. I'm getting things done. All the canopies are up. The dirt's getting spread out. I've done so much. I've still got to do some of the rubber mats on the floors in there to make sure, because it's concrete in there. So I want to make sure that their pads are protected. Mr. Peel? Shit.
That's something interesting
See,
to dive
now I'm
into.
wanting to go investigate this Mr. Peel fella. What fucker. Anyway.
Yeah, when you were live the other day, it actually looked really good. It's coming along really good. Your barn.
Yeah, I'm happy with it. I just hope the babies are going to be happy with it. I did get Wilbur's sign up. So Wilbur will always be honored in there. I have some pictures of Cash I'm also going to put out there and all that. So it's coming along nicely. Just got some shit I got to finish up before I can actually move them in there. And then, yeah.
So I wouldn't have known that.
I'm going to say within the month. Huh?
Look at her comment. He was the first Arkansas-born U.S. congressman.
Oh, for goodness sake. All right. Well, I'm not. They didn't. When I looked up the Peel Mansion, I didn't see anything about the Peels. I knew it was the Peel Mansion. I don't know why I didn't think that name wasn't a Peel. So I don't fucking know. It's not very appealing.
Yeah.
I know I'm stupid. Don't mind me. I'm ridiculous. So anyway, so I will be on Wednesday night, and the next state in order will be California. Hauntings. I don't know anybody that lives over there. He brought his daughters a first edition Louisa May Alcott book when she gave it to him in Washington during his term. Okay, I feel really stupid here, but am I supposed to know who she is? I'm not sure who Louisa May Alcott is. I'm getting a history lesson tonight, folks. The movie? The book? Isn't there a movie, Little Women? Or the TV show? I don't know. I have no idea. Little Men, my child is correcting me. Oh. Ooh, that was a quiet one. Shit, I thought that one was going to be loud and be proud of that. Well, what do you know? Anyway, I don't usually do the SBDs. All right. Well, anyway, oh, you hush it. Everybody's used to my tooting by now. She wrote both along with 8 cousins. See, I'm going to have to look all this shit up now. Okay. Anyway, I will be on Wednesday night. Thank you guys for tuning in for Arkansas.
Yes, indeed.
And my favorite uncle.
Yep.
We love Uncle. We love when Uncle comes on because we always have a good time.
Thanks for stopping in, Emily.
So thank you so much. Huh?
Oh, I was telling Emily, yeah, thanks for stopping in and helping out and giving us some more insight too.
Yeah, thank you, Emily. It was very nice to meet you. And please come in whenever you want. Again, I'll be on Wednesday night. I will be live on Clapper for a little while longer. So if you'd like to come and hang out with us over there for a few minutes, you're more than welcome. And I'll see you on Wednesday night for California. Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. I love you.